Alright, so when you're naming things that involve a cation and an anion, or when you're writing the formula for these, the entire formula should give you a charge of 0. Okay, so if we're looking at our first question given here, let me just zoom in for a minute. Okay, if you look at our first formula given here, our potassium bicarbonate, you can look on page 94 and you can get the formula of the bicarbonate. The potassium is just the element name, and you should have gotten that from the lecture. And if you look on the front cover of your textbook, you'll find the names of all of your elements. So the formula that's given here is potassium bicarbonate. So it is KHCO3. And the bicarbonate has a charge of -1. The potassium has a charge of +1, so that is the correct balanced form for that molecule. So that's going from a name to the formula. And then we have some where you go from the formula to the name. So here is the Na3PO4. So you'd look at page 94 and you'd see that PO4 is named phosphate, and then you can look at the symbols Na and you can find that that would be sodium. So the name of this compound is sodium phosphate. And you have to actually have 3 sodiums to 1 phosphate, because phosphate has a charge of -3 and sodium has a charge of +1. So you have to write the formula as shown there. So you can go ahead and complete the rest of that series of names, and then you're done with that experiment. Okay, so only for this video is designed only for the students who are in my Monday section of the lab, and the data that I provided for you may not necessarily match the data for the students who are actually doing the experiment. Okay, so for my Monday students, I'd like them to complete the experiment by filling out the rest of the lab report form. So I gave you some data, and then there's some parts that you actually have to fill in. And if you actually watch this video, you should be able to complete your lab report form, because I gave you all of the data that you need. And then the only part that you actually have to do is some of the conclusions, and then you have to fill out some of the things like this. I gave you in during the course of the initial little pre-lab talk, so you'll be able to answer this question, and then you should be able to answer the rest of these things. The number of points that everything is worth is listed in those little parentheses. So this entire lab report form is worth 100 points. And so, for instance, this entire section right here is worth 16 points. There are 8 parts to it. So each one of the little 8 parts is 2 points. And then up here, this is 16 points. So each of these little blanks is worth 4 points, and so on. And then you need to turn it in at the normal time. So my Monday class needs to turn it in to me the following Monday. So you would normally have done this experiment on, you would normally be doing this experiment on the, let me see where my little sheet is that gives the dates. So normally you would be doing this experiment, my Monday class would be doing this experiment on 9, you'd be doing this experiment on 9/9, and then you would be turning in your lab report form on 9/16 at 1:45, like you would normally do, except you're actually going to use the data that I provided in this video to answer your lab report form. Okay, so I'll see everybody. I should be back on Wednesday for Wednesday's class. So my Wednesday and Friday's class students should come to the normal class time period, and my Wednesday and Friday students are going to do the physical changes lab with everybody else in the actual lab. You're actually going to do the experiment in the lab. So you're not going to use the data provided here, but only my Monday section is going to use the data shown here. My Monday class is not actually going to meet in the lab, so in place of meeting in the lab, you're going to watch this video and you're going to print out the lab report form and you're going to fill in the data that I provided for you, but you're going to complete the rest of the lab report and turn it in at the normal time for the Monday class. The lab report that is due on 9/9, and because of Labor Day we didn't meet on 9/2, so you're actually going to turn in, so my Monday class is going to turn in the density lab report into my turn-in box. So that's my turn-in box in between the two doors of LSF 304. So they're wooden boxes. I actually put my name and it actually has my little picture on it, so you should be able to find where that is. So you're all going to turn in the lab report for the density lab. So the density lab should be turned in on 9/9 by 1:45 p.m. Although I'm not there on Monday, so if you turn it in a little bit late, I probably wouldn't notice because I can't really tell. And then this lab report, so the physical and chemical changes lab report. Oh, let me just write it on this little piece of paper right here. So your chemical and physical changes lab report you are doing the experiment on 9/9. You're not really, because you're not actually going to be in the lab. You can view the video at any time, but then you're going to be turning in the lab report, and you're going to be turning in the lab report on 9/16 by 1:45 p.m. like a normal lab report at the normal time. Okay, so I'll see you guys when I get back, and then everything should go as normally after that, because this is the only little trip that I'm going to be taking this semester. Okay, so see you on the following Monday.